Good day, everybody, and welcome to today's latest episode on my YouTube video series. And today I'm going to talk about a topic which is, I guess, is on most people's mind, right? Which is what type of property should I buy in JB right now in 2025? Now, what has happened is that there's been a lot of interest to buy real estate in JB, right? Which has rekindled in the past 1-2 years, right? 2023, 2024, 2025, right? We have seen a lot more interest from people to buy property in Johor lah. The question is, buy what property, right? And of course, as a property agent, and since I run this YouTube channel, I get lots of queries, people asking me different questions, what type of property you want to buy, and I feel that I have a very good sample base on the types of questions and the type of property that you guys are looking for, right? So let me share with you my investment theory or my property purchase theory on how to buy property in JB. So number one is my number one preference, right? And this, of course, is my preference, my opinion, right? May not be the same as yours, right? Is that I prefer to buy property near the RTS station, right? This is, of course, a given, lah, right? Like in Singapore, like anywhere in country in the world, right? People always want to buy property which is near to the train station, near to good transport link. And this RTS station in JB, of course, is the most important transport link, because everybody who wants to go to Singapore will have to bypass through this RTS station, making this RTS station very, very important. So the nearer to the RTS or as a good walking distance to RTS is the best, right? If you say drive, right, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, right, then it can be many, many projects in JB. But walking distance to RTS, right, there's only a few. Let me show you through this Google map over here, right, screenshot, right? So this is the RTS station over here, right? And you will see that I circle within 1 kilometer thereabouts. These are all the projects which are or locations that you can roughly walk. Even though you within 1 kilometer also doesn't mean you can walk. There may be other physical factors, like for example, big road, highway, or simply not walkable because you are walking in the open road, no pedestrian pathway, not sheltered, so very hot by the rain, or you may be hit by traffic, right? So I don't consider those walkable lah, right? Walkable must be walkable in a safe manner, right? Or as short a distance as possible, if not very safe, right? So that you can, it's viable. So these are the best, right? This is criteria number one, right? You buy as near RTS as possible, and all these projects within this location, right? I call them the S tier, super tier projects, right? Which are the best location in JB. My second preference is, of course, that these condos must be mixed development, right? Which, when I say mixed, means have some retail component, right? The bigger the retail component, the better. Ideally, a shopping mall or bigger, right? Or a big shopping mall, right? Why I say that? Because in Singapore, we are very used to living in condos that downstairs, right? You can walk a little bit, you can find food, supermarket, all that, right? A lot of HDB estates are also like this. Now, if you go to KL, it's also very common to find condos which are integrated to LRT, MRT, and downstairs also have more, right? But in JB, you will notice that this is not very common. In fact, majority of JB condos don't have any mixed development or retail component downstairs. So when people from Singapore or KL come to buy condo in JB, they find that they don't like, right? Why all these condo are standalone one, right? And I think a lot of JB developer in the past never think about this. They build a condo, they never really think about convenience. They assume that everybody in JB will drive a car. But in KL or in Singapore, like I said, it's very common, right, or a lot more common to find condo or HDB where downstairs is convenient. So I prefer condo which is mixed development. So these are my two main criteria. Number one, walking distance to RTS. Number two is mixed development. Now, due to this factor alone, basically there are only 2 or 3 condos, right, that are already in JB right now, right, or upcoming that fit this criteria. I will share with you right now. Number one is r&Fprincesscove, which I talk about quite a fair bit. Number two is the Exim project near the CIQ, which is also launching very soon, probably in June, maybe July, you will see more, right? This one also has a retail component, and so I am walking distance to RTS, so yes, also can. Number three is also the Sunway project, right, which is on top of the RTS station, which will only launch maybe end of 2026, so that one's a bit longer down the road. But all these 3 condos really, really fit my preference. So if you want to buy a property in JB, these are the 3 condos which I feel are the best. So once I said this theory of mine, right, this is the preferred property I prefer you to buy, then you will say, Ryan, there are 2 objections that I will get. Number one, oh Ryan, this is too expensive, right? Condo near RTS, very expensive, they're 1,000 PSF or higher. Then I say, yeah lah, I mean, there is a price, of course, to buy good property, right? No point you buy lousy property, right? And as I said, once you go into city fringe, which I show here on the Google map, right? Anything within 5 kilometers, maybe 6, 7 kilometers, 8 kilometers distance away, right? You'll notice that the area become bigger. There can be a lot of condos which are 5 km away or 6 km away from RTS, all driving, and all of them will say shuttle bus. Every of these condos will say got shuttle bus one. So you'll have like don't know how many shuttle bus going to JB, right? In the early morning next time, right? So shuttle bus, I don't know whether that's a very good solution, right? There'll be traffic issues, right? And but when I say city fringe, right, 5 to 10 kilometers away, which is the A zone, grade A properties, right? Not super, but we call this grade A, right? Then there are many locations to consider, all the way to Tangga Bay, all the way to Luckington North a little bit, even to the west. You can argue Serdiban Cove is also grade A property, all within a 5 km radius more or less, and you have a lot of options, right? And they will be cheaper. I think generally the consensus we are looking at maybe 700, 800 per square foot in general, right? But like I said, supply here can be very high, right? If you can, I still prefer you to buy grade S, which is nearer to RTS, rather than you buy cheaper lah. If you're going to buy cheaper, you might as well go all the way cheaper, go all the way further to grade B location like Austin, like Taman Sutra, like Medini Putri Harbour, even further away like this map over here, right? Why not? Since you're going to be cheap, might as well go cheaper further all the way, right? I like Medini because it's foreigner eligible, right? But there may be other reasons you want to buy Sutra or in Austin as well, right? Grade B locations further away. And normally, I don't recommend you to buy grade C, which is even further away, which is at Pasir Gudang, Kulai, right? Galampata. That is already way too far, right? Unless your budget really cannot make it, right? Or you have some family ties, or you really don't mind these locations like Kulai, Pasir Gudang, or Kulai, which is quite far away, right? Because maybe you really live there, you grew up there, so you're familiar. So yeah, maybe you can buy there if you are in that scenario, right? The other reason why you will not agree means, hey Ryan, I don't want to buy condo because JB got a lot of condo, right? I want to buy landed. Okay, so landed also can, right? But the issue with landed is that prices have gone up, right? They are no longer cheap, right? If you want to buy a good landed in JB today, you are looking at minimum 1 million ringgit, right? All the decent landed in JB right now, all are launching at 900,000 plus minimum to 1 million ringgit plus, right? You will not find anything decent below 1 million lah. Or if it's below 1 million, then maybe got a bit of problem one, like for example, right? Right, they tell me, hey, got those landed, right, 700,000 ringgit one, but those normally is non-gated guarded, right? Number one, or very old, like 30 years old, 20 something years old, 30 years old, some are 40 years old, 50 years old. The house is very old, right? And somehow no security, so that's why the price there is stuck at this 700,000 range. Okay, like you can see this happen like in Bukit Indah, right? A lot of the older Bukit Indah houses like SV Setia are like this, right? Or you can even see this in Skudai also. There are a lot of landed houses stuck at this 700,000 range, right? Cannot really go up because number one, they're old. Number two, they are no security, not gated guarded. Okay. Number two is if the price is at 7,000 ringgit, the other reasons could be they are very far, right? They could be in Galampata, Kulai, Pasir Gudang, then you can reach 700,000 ringgit lah, but very far lah, right? C tier location are quite far away. That's why the price is cheap lah. Which again, like I said, if you familiar with Kulai, you grew up there, yeah, maybe you can still buy, right? Because you know Kulai, then you can buy that price lah. Then okay, you can buy landed there, no problem, right? You cannot get good landed in town now for cheap price because price has gone up, and in town, right, there's not much land left, right? If you look at this Google map alone, you can see there's an urban sprawl, right? Even you drive in JB today, a lot of JB people complain of traffic jam already, right? 5, 6 p.m. when you go back home from work, there's a lot of traffic jam in JB right now because everybody go out, right? Urban sprawl. So urban sprawl means that there's less and less what they call big plot of land to build landed, right? To build landed, right, the developer cannot have 5 acre or 10 acre to build landed, no point. If the land size is only 5 acre, 10 acre, then they're going to build high, right? So small plot of land in JB town you can find, but this will end up being high rise. They will not really be landed anymore. So the landed, right, will go further away and the price will go up. I think the opportunity to buy landed cheap, right, I think maybe you still have an opportunity lah. If you really go in bargain hunt, you may be able to find something in the 800,000 to 900,000 range, right? Resale unit, right? But like I said, the chance to buy cheap landed is no longer there, right? Be prepared to have a budget of 1 million ringgit and above, right, to get a decent landed in JB. And as I said many times, you must understand landed, right? It's also a lifestyle thing, which comes to my next point. So buying a property also depends on your personal situation. What is your requirement? Whether you are a retiree, right? Maybe you and your wife or you and your spouse, a retiree, or are you just married, no children or maybe one young children, or you are already married for some years with two children, maybe three children, right? Or you a big family, right? So all these factors, right, will actually decide what kind of property you want to buy. If you are a retiree, actually you don't really need a big property. A lot of retirees are downscaling, right, to small properties that they can manage, right, in a convenient location where they don't need to go out to buy groceries, right? It's easy for them to live lah. They don't want to do so much maintenance. They want to travel, retirees, right? So they don't want big property, right? There's also a lot of scenario where smaller families, right, they don't want to buy landed, stay so far away, right? Because go to work is difficult, especially if they work in Singapore, right? They don't want to stay in Pasir Gudang or Kulai because go to work is very far. So they prefer to buy condo nearer to town where it's easy to get to work, easier to manage, right? And a good location in town, right? Where also there's a convenience factor in play because they don't have many kids, right? So normally for them, two-bedroom or a small three-bedroom, right? Sometimes one bedder also is fine, right? For this kind of lifestyle. It's only where you see bigger families, people who got two, three kids, right? Kids are still young, maybe multi-generation families. They live with their parents, right? Or they live with their siblings, right? Then maybe they go for bigger house, then they want to buy landed, right? So everybody's situation is different, right? You have to think very clearly whether the property is suitable for you. Like a lot of Singaporeans say, hey, Ryan, I go to JB, I want to buy landed, right? Then I say, who is going to stay? Me, I'm a retiree and my spouse. I say two people how to stay a landed four-bedroom in JB, right? It's not practical, right? And a lot of people from Singapore, when they go to JB, right, they say I want to buy condo, then they want to buy cheap condo, but they never think about this cheap condo whether it's suitable for their lifestyle. Because like I said, a lot of condo in JB downstairs got no amenity one, right? It's standalone, right? This is very different from Singapore, very different from KL. So they have to find those condo which is suitable for their lifestyle, where downstairs have convenience and good transport links, right? So this is very important, right? A lot of developer in JB, when they build this kind of condo in JB, they never think about all these things, right? And end up all these properties not suitable for Singapore buyers or not suitable for retiree buyers, right? End up the target niche becomes smaller lah. Finally, you also to think about whether this property is whether it's for investment or for own use lor, right? Because some people, when you buy property for own use, your objective versus investment can be very different, right? So for investment, typically your requirement is that the rental yield is good, at least the rental can pay for the bank installment if you take a loan, right? But I also urge buyers to think about, don't think too heavy investment product. Right now in JB, very popular, they do all this small unit, right? Super small unit, right? Like studio 400 square feet, or the now very common 1+1 dual key. A lot of project doing now 1+1 dual key. I know it sell very well, and I know in theory you have higher rental yield, right? But you must understand, when the building got a lot of dual key, what happens is that in the end the unit got a lot of investor, right? And don't have a lot of own use buyer, right? Especially also when the building market, we are Airbnb, a lot of Airbnb or hotel, right? Then end up what happen is the building again got a lot of investor, a lot of tenant, don't have a real owner, right? So I always don't believe that a building should depend very heavily on Airbnb. It's not good. Some portion okay, right? But eventually a healthy project, right? A healthy uh, development must have a high component of owner usage or long-term tenant. This is better, right? Don't have too many tenants, right? Especially if they're single tenants, or don't have too many Airbnb. I think that is ultimately no good. Own use is the best, right? If you can get a building where own use people want to buy, this is the best scenario. And long term, your property can have capital appreciation, right? Especially if you buy for investment. So I hope that sharing was useful to you. I think it's about a 10-minute, 15-minute rant about my thinking about what you want to do when you buy property in JB today, right? I hope this helps you think about your own choices, right? Because like I said, a lot of people come and ask me about these questions, and I think it's important to have a clear decision of what you are buying this for. Don't buy, listen to your friend or listen to someone and everybody's situation is different, right? So you must be clear of your own scenario before you make decision to buy, right? And it also help you in terms of narrowing down what you want to buy. So don't have, oh, this project good or not, this project I heard like that, I heard like that. But it's not really I heard like that. It depends on you lah. What you want then decides whether the project is good or not for you mah. Okay. So thank you very much. I hope this was useful. If you do like our content, do like, share, and subscribe to your YouTube channel. We're trying to hit 10,000 followers this year in 2025, right? So please share this with your friends and family. If you guys are looking to buy a property in Johor Bahru, feel free to contact me. I reply all messages, I think, on people who want to buy property in JB, even if I'm the most even if I'm not the most suitable agent for you. No obligations, just have a chat about whether what you want to do in JB. I hope to be useful as well. And of course, if I can be the best agent for you to transact, I will do that transaction for you, help you buy in JB, right? So I'm a property agent in Johor Bahru. So yeah, thank you very much. This is my contact number 8126 1626. You can reach me over here, right? Feel free to WhatsApp me. Thank you very much, and bye bye.